Hey guys, you're right. Welcome to Guitar Lessons by E.O.A. Today I'm going to teach you how to learn and memorize the notes on the guitar fretboard. Okay, first things first. The terms open strings refers to the sound the string makes when no fingers are placed on the fretboard. So that's and you must memorize the open string names. So this is called E, A, D, G, B, E. E, A, D, G, B, E. And in between F and G, G and A and B, C and D and E, the notes are written as flats. G flat, A flat, B flat, etc. Which can also be named as F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp. Please note, when a note goes lower in pitch, it becomes flat. And the note that goes higher in pitch becomes a sharp. Sharp raises a pitch, and a flat note will lower the pitch. So let's say, for example, we play an A sharp. Sorry, an A. If we want to play it a semitone higher, this will be A sharp. But if we play it from B and go back a semitone, this will be called B flat. So from here, from A to A sharp. So from a semitone higher is A sharp. B, but a semitone lower is B flat. A sharp, B flat. So even though they are the same notes but different names, it just depends on where they're being played to. So if a note is being played to a semitone higher, it will be a sharp. If they're being played to a semitone lower, it will be a flat. So the A to A sharp is being played to higher, so sharp. But from B, it's being played lower. It's being played to lower. So the destination from here to here is higher. Destination from here to here is lower. So notice that the notes on the first and sixth strings are always the same letter on identical frets. So open string, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, so on and so forth. And when it comes to playing guitar, this is called your low E, and this is called your high E. So notice that the fifth fret on the sixth string is the same as the open A on the next adjacent string. So A. And then when you go to next string, D, and then this is D. D on the fifth fret, fifth string, is the same as the D open. The next string, this is G, and so is this, G open. Now, when it comes to playing the third string, instead of playing the fifth, we play the fourth. And then we go back to the fifth, E, E. And the reason why we do that is because when we play the B, the next adjacent string doesn't have B sharp. It goes B and then C. So notes on the fifth fret will be your first reference points, but the third string will be on the fourth. Now, another thing I would like to mention is notes on the 12th fret uses the same notes as the open string. So E, E, A, D, D, G, G, B, B, E, E. The only difference is it's just an octave higher. And notes on the 13th fret uses the same notes as the first fret, but it's just an octave higher. So this is an F, and this is an F. This is G sharp. This is G sharp. So even though this is your 12th, this is actually a 0, but an octave higher. The 12th fret is equals to the open strings, but just an octave higher. So 12 or 0, an octave higher, F, F, just an octave lower. Now, if you want to find any note past the 12th fret, but an octave lower, all you need to do is take away 12. So let's say we play the F here. If you want to find F on the same string, all you need to do is take away 12. So this is 13. 13 take away 12 is 1, which equals the first fret. Let's say, for example, we want to find A. A is here, which is on the 17th fret. 17 take away 12 is 5, and 5 equals the 5th fret. If this is A, this is A. Just an octave higher or lower. So notes on the 12th fret will be called the second reference point. And with just those two reference points, finding any notes or note on the string will be easy. All right, so let's try finding G sharp on every string, starting with the 6th string. Now, let's use our reference points, the 5th fret and the 12th. Now, ask yourself, if G sharp is closer to A or E in the alphabet. It is closer to E. So we go from here, and then we go F, F sharp, G, G sharp. So G sharp is on the 16th fret. And if we want to find it an octave lower, all we need to do is go 16 take away 12 is 4. 4th fret. Now, some of you may be a little bit confused by that as to why I went from here to here when I could have just went A and then G sharp, which is just a semitone lower. But the thing is, I want you to remember that in the musical alphabet, it only goes up to G sharp and then back to A. And music, or the musical alphabet, is diatonic. So if we play A here, we can't go backwards. It needs to go diatonic. It needs to go A sharp, B, C, C sharp, or A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It can't go A, G sharp, and then F sharp. No. It needs to be diatonic. It needs to go up in pitch. Up in pitch. Now, I know that the G sharp to the A is physically closer on the fretboard. Because all you need to do is, this and then this. But when it comes to the musical alphabet, it doesn't make sense. So the A is closer physically, but when it comes to the musical alphabet, E is closer. So we just go E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, which is just 4 semitones. And from A, we can't go backwards. So we have to go A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, which is 11 semitones higher. So from E, it's just 4 semitones higher. But then from A, it's 11 semitones higher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. G sharp, G sharp. Same note, just a different octave. G sharp, G sharp. Okay? All right. So going back to what I said concerning flats and sharps. So just imagine in a sheet of music, I was playing these notes. G, G sharp, and then this. So this will be called G, this will be called G sharp, but this will be called A flat because it's lower in pitch. So it will be G, G sharp, A flat, which is the same note, but just different names, simply because of the pitch. All right. When the music goes higher, it's sharp. When the music goes lower, it's flat. G, G sharp, A flat. Same notes, different names. All right, so continuing on the same system of thought on the fifth string, starting with the two reference points, D, so this is the fifth fret and this is the 12th. So this is your D and this is A. And ask yourself this question. If G sharp is closer to D or A in the musical alphabet, it would have to be D. So it's closer to D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. Now we could go up from A. So supposing this guitar had more frets, then that means that the G sharp will be on the 23rd fret. So 23rd fret. And if we were to play it an octave lower, it will be 23rd, 23 take away 12, which is 11. Okay, so like I said before, even though it's closer to the A physically, but when it comes to the musical alphabet, it's actually closer to the D. Okay. Next string, let's find, let's use the reference points. So the fourth string, okay, the fifth fret, this is G and this is D. So in the alphabet, ask yourself if G sharp is closer to G or D in the alphabet. It's closest to G. And yes, we can play it from here because it's going diatonic. It's not going backwards, diatonic. So yeah, it's closest to G. G, then G sharp. And then we can also play it from here, which is on the 18th. And then if we play a semitone lower, 18 take away 12 is 6, which equals the 6th fret, G sharp. Next string. Now remember, on the third string, we don't play on the 5th, we play on the 4th. So your two reference points will be the 4th fret and the 12th. So ask yourself this question. If G sharp is closer to B or G in the musical alphabet, it's closest to G, G sharp, which also equals to the first fret because this G sharp is played on the 13th. 13 take away 12 is 1. 1 equals the first fret. Now going to the next string, and now going back to the 5th fret. 5th fret and the 12th, your reference points. So ask yourself this question. In the alphabet, is G sharp closer to E or B? E or B? E, B. And the reason why I know that this is E is because the next string is E. Okay? E or B. In the musical alphabet, it's closest to E. Now, even though it's physically closer to B, but remember, music is diatonic. We don't go backwards. So we could play it from, so from here it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 semitones. And then from here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 semitones. 9 semitones higher from here, from the B, the 12th fret, but it's only 4 semitones higher from the 5th fret. Now let's find G sharp on the next string. Using our two reference points, 5th fret and 12th. Ask yourself if G sharp is closer to A or E in the musical alphabet. It's closer to E, which is on the 16th. And remember, if you want to find G sharp lower, we just do 16 take away 12 is 4, which equals the 4th fret. And remember, notes on the 6th string is identical to the notes on the 1st string. So if G sharp is here, right, it's also here. G sharp, G. F sharp, F, E. It's the same notes, just different pitch. And when it comes to your reference points, if you have a hard time knowing the names, just use the next string. So if this is A, this is A. Or if you know that this is A open string, this is A. And remember, for the 3rd string, we use the 4th fret. So if this is B, then we know that this is B. If this is E, we know that this is E. So this is, if you're having a hard time knowing the notes on your first reference points. And of course, this is the same as the open string. E, E, A, etc. Okay, so let's just say, for example, you wanted to find the F sharp on the 5th string. And using your reference points, D and A. Well, F sharp is pretty close to both D and A. It's pretty close to D and A in the alphabet. So you could count back from A, which will lead you to the 9th fret, and then an octave higher. So supposing the guitar had 21 frets, which will be here. Or you could go up from D, which will lead you to F sharp. So when it comes to things like this, where a note is pretty close to both of the reference points, the first thing you have to first look at is, which note is it closest to in the musical alphabet? Is it closer to D or closer to A? Okay, so practice using this method, utilizing the two reference points, choosing any notes at random. And with just 15 minutes a day, you should start to get the picture of the neck or the fretboard in your mind within a short time. So in a short space of time, you should start to get the picture of the neck or the fretboard in your mind. And I would say within 4 to 6 weeks, you should memorize all the notes on the fretboard, including from the 1st to the 12th and an octave higher. Now, of course, learning all the notes an octave higher isn't practical because not all guitars, or most guitars, don't go up to 24. So this one goes up to 20. All right, so playing all the notes on the 1st octave and the 2nd octave, so that's past the 12th fret, will not be possible or practical, since most guitars in general do not go up to 24 frets. So after about 6 weeks, you should start playing the notes like this. Thank you for watching today's lesson. This is Guitar Lessons by E.O.A. Stay tuned for more.